Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Somerville Licensing Commission for February 18th, 2025. I'm Chair and Commissioner Joe Lynch. To my left is Commissioner Jack Thomas. To my right, Commissioner Chris Allen. This is pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023. This meeting of the Licensing Commission may be conducted via remote participation. We will post an audio recording, audio-video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of these proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting on the City of Somerville website. Good evening, everyone. Our liaison to the Somerville Police Department, Lieutenant Mitsakis, is with us. Our liaison to the Somerville Fire Department, Captain Richardson, is with us. And also steering the ship of state is Michael Potier from the City Clerk's office. Gentlemen, ready to begin? Item number 1. Minutes of the regular licensing commission meeting of 1/21/24/25. Correction?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Any comments, questions, edits?
None.
Seeing none, Commissioner Thomas would like to.
Make a motion to.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We do have an item that has been requested to be taken out of order. Gentlemen, it's item number 8, which is the only outdoor dining application that's on our agenda tonight. Would you mind if we took that out of order? All set. Is Nikki Aurora with us?
Mr. Chair, I do see them present.
Thank you, Nikki Aurora from the City Engineers Department. This is an application by Krispy Kreme LLC DBA Mr. Craig, 51 Davis Square, requesting approval of a public sidewalk outdoor seating for 10, excuse me, for 10 seats. This is a public hearing.
Mr. Chair, I do see the applicant here.
We'll take the applicant first.
I see your hand raised. I'm allowing you to talk, unmuting on our end.
Hi, good afternoon. This is Luis Ballesteros from Mr. Creep.
Levi, how are you tonight?
Good, how are you?
Very good. You're gonna do sidewalk, outdoor sidewalk seating, 10 seats on the sidewalk right there on Elm Street.
Correct.
And is this the same application as you had for last year, or is this new?
I believe it's different because last year we had a patio on the side, on the other side. And this year we are not having a patio, only the sidewalk.
So you are not doing outdoor in the street, the public parklet, you're just gonna stick to the sidewalk this year?
Correct.
Great, and it's only for 10 seats.
Right.
Great, okay. Commissioner Thomas,
No questions, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Allen.
No questions?
Okay, Levi, if you're all set, we're gonna go to the engineering department and they're gonna tell us whether or not they like this design. All set? Nikki Aurora.
Hi, Nikki, I see your microphone is unmuted. We can't hear you at the moment. I hear a little crackle, Nikki, but I can't make out words.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay. Yep, so this is the same setup as last year, just minus the parklet seating on the side street. So we recommend this for approval.
Thank you. Nikki, is this a repeat? Did they have sidewalk seating in previous years?
Yes.
Okay, so no change from this.
Mhm.
Great. Thank you. Any other questions?
No question.
All right, this is a public hearing. Michael.
If there are any members of the public who wish to be heard on this item, please approach the podium in City Council chambers or raise your hand in the Zoom lobby. Seeing none, Mr. Chair.
Seeing none, to close that part of the public hearing, and Commissioner Thomas would like to.
Make a motion to approve.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All 3 commissioners in the affirmative. Thank you, Levi. Congratulations. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
And thank you, Nikki Aurora. Back to the regular agenda. Item number 2 is a communication from the law department regarding the impact of the appointment of a receiver to an existing host community agreement. Gentlemen, I noticed this back in November, December, a Boston Globe article about one of our cannabis licensees being put into receivership. That is Revolutionary Clinics down on East Broadway. They are having some trouble. They were put into receivership. I asked Michael and the law department to take a look at how that would affect our host agreement and our license. The attachment, it is in your packet, the opinion letter from the city solicitor, the city law department, which basically states there is no impact on the host agreement as long as that stays intact with the CCC. From our standpoint, though, there is a change in control of Revolutionary Clinics. So it would be my intent to have the city clerk's office or the law department, I'll let them work it out, to notify the receiver that they are now required to amend that license, to notify us and tell us and apply for a new owner, which is the receiver. So I'm not going to say anything more because this is in the courts, but we have to keep our record straight about who actually is running the license. That's that item. Okay, no more action is needed by us, but it's a communication. We'll place it on file. Michael, thank you very much for your help with that. Item number 3 is the commission is requesting a status report on the use of the all forms alcoholic license for AL 17-326 Teal Square Cafe DBA The Basement, 1133B Broadway. This is an all forms private license. Is the license holder present?
Mr. Chair, through you, I see both the license holder and their attorney. Their attorney has their hand raised. Counselor, I am unmuting you on our end. If the licensee would like to speak as well, just raise your hand as well.
Good evening, everyone. Attorney Tyler Hensler here, and with me again is the owner, Binoj Pradhan. As the board knows, this has been an ongoing process within this space to determine if it will work from a structural and ADA compliance standpoint. It has become clear to Binoj, the owner, that this process, though while ongoing for a while, may still have several months left, at which point we can either start preparing for operating with a build out, et cetera, or we find out the location is not going to work. So instead of holding the license for this time, effectively making it what's known as a pocket license, we are here to ask for the board's permission for our plan to transfer this license to someone who will use it. It's my understanding that Binoj has a neighbor, the Happy Crab, that holds a restricted license of some kind. Again, I don't know all the details, but this is my understanding that they hold a restricted license and that we would transfer the license held by Teal Square or The Basement we would transfer that to the Happy Crab, who would in turn surrender the restricted license they currently hold. This way, we transfer the license to a business who will put it to use. They get a non-restricted license, and the city gets a restricted license back. I think it sounds like a win-win unless the board has any objections. I will add, just to conclude, that this is all, however, with the understanding, even after the transfer, if that is allowed, that if everything works out with the inspections and the ADA, we will be back reapplying for the same license at the same location. But again, with the board's permission, we would go the route I just described and transfer this license to the Happy Crab so that we do not hold on to a license that isn't being used while we figure that out. We don't see any sense in that any longer. So we're happy to take any questions, but thank you for hearing us tonight.
Okay, Attorney Hensler, thank you very much. I'm going to ask our clerk for some clarification here. Michael, could you tell me what type of license Happy Crab currently has?
Mr. Chair, through you, I think the restrictive nature that the attorney is referring to is that it's an enhancement area license as opposed to a citywide license. It is not restricted in terms of the forms of alcohol. It's an all forms 7-day license.
It is an all forms 7-day license
Correct.
issued by the city of Somerville. This
Correct.
is not a private license.
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
Right. Okay, Counselor Hensler, I'm not gonna lead off. I'm gonna let Commissioner Allen, because I know he has some questions about what you're proposing, but go ahead, Commissioner Allen.
Would the plan then be if later on the 1133 Broadway venue was found to be suitable? Would you be looking to either procure another privately held license, or would you be applying to the city for a city-owned license?
Can I answer that question, Tyler?
Dan Benosh.
First of all, I would like to thank all the commissioners for giving me so much time. I'm really touched, to be honest. You guys being patient and trying to help me figure these things out. Believe it or not, I have all the materials for the basement on the basement right now, ready to construct. I do not have a building permit, so I will be applying for a building permit. But the thing is, me asking every time, a month to month, it has been an embarrassing thing for me, to be honest. With lots of things happening personally with me, and also the challenges that I'm facing because it's in a basement. Basement makes it so difficult. Trying to find all these building codes and staircase and all that stuff. But I do have some plans where I don't know if Tyler has submitted the drawings that actually I emailed Tyler, where I have a small space, about 120 square feet of space next to a liquor store. So I was able to manage to negotiate some sort of a thing to acquire a small space. But still, there's so much structural thing that has to go through, and elevator company has to look at it to see if it works or not. So not going further and asking for more requests, what I'm doing is, to answer your question, I will still move forward to definitely finish the basement, figure out a way to get that elevator down there. And then I will definitely come back to the board and apply for a license. I think Teal Square need more businesses because a lot of businesses are closing down in Teal Square. I've been in Teal Square for 25 years. I definitely want to bring more crowd to the Teal Square because crowd brings more business to other businesses as well. So for not pocketing this license anymore, I was requesting to Tyler to see if the chair and the commissioner would allow to transfer my current license to the Happy Crab, like Tyler said, repeating myself, sorry about that. And then in the future, once I get everything sorted out, everything is approved, then I'll definitely come back to the chair and to the board requesting for an all form license.
Right. Benosh, the question was, when we come back and reapply, would that be for a city-held license or a privately held license? And
It will be a city held license because I don't know if there'll be any license for sale at the time. That's why I will definitely request for the city license. I don't think so. There'll be any privately held license that will be available when I'm ready. So, and I don't want to delay further.
there it is.
Thanks. Do you have any documentation, letter of intent, anything from Happy Crab to the effect of this?
So
Not-
I just
not
had
that.
Yeah, so I just had a conversation with them, but I'm happy to bring a letter from them, and then present to the chair or the board, or email to Michael, or the city clerk office.
What are they offering as consideration?
Oh, $0.
Nominal consideration.
Yeah, because I tell you why, because they are my neighbor and I know them for a long time. So I'd rather see it go to Happy Crab. They've been nice to me as a neighbor as well. So I'm just requesting board if that's possible.
No further questions right now.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Thomas.
No direct questions, Mr. Chair, but given the time frame for this particular license, I'd be on the side of having the license returned.
Okay, Counselor and Benosh, if you didn't catch that, Commissioner Thomas is of the mind to
surrender the license. When they are ready, they can come back and reapply.
Okay. Counselor, I see a couple of problems in your theory or in your proposal. Right now, the Happy Crab is operating with a full liquor license is it what we term a city license, city-owned license. So Commissioner Allen's question is, what's in it for Happy Crab to do this kind of a transfer? I can't see any benefit to Happy Crab. This will all benefit the basement because let me back up. In November, Attorney Hensler, you represented to this commission that if there was no deal in place come January, the license would be surrendered. In January, your client came in and represented the same thing to us, is that he would have a deal in February with some kind of movement of a dry cleaner and taking over some other space. And now there's a third party entering into this tonight, which is, let me transfer my private license over to an existing licensee who already has a license. I think this is grasping at straws at this point. I have it in my mind that we gave you grace in November. And I think, Attorney Hensler, you've heard it in my voice that I'm not willing to put this city or this commission at risk and having the ABCC not sanction us, but say, why are you allowing this license to be pocketed for over 5 years? When your client appeared in January, I asked them, when did you purchase this private license? This private license was purchased by your client in 2016. We're 9 years without activating the license. In good conscience, Attorney Hensler, I cannot allow it to go beyond tonight.
I
So-
absolutely understand what the board is saying. I will say that the board has been extremely gracious and generous in allowing us or the basement to and working with them to try and get open. Despite best efforts, it's become clear that it's just going to go on for a few months, for another few months. We don't want that, and I think we have the same goal. We don't want to be holding a pocket license. You don't want us to have a pocket license for any longer. So our idea that we have presented tonight is a way to activate that license, which I think is the goal. That license would be activated by Happy Crab, and Happy Crab would return a city-owned license to the city. But that
Yeah, Attorney Hensler, I want to kind of help you with that part. Should this commission revoke that license tonight, it goes back into our quota. And we don't resell that license. So it automatically becomes another city-issued license. And we've had this incident happen at least once or twice before, where an inactive license was revoked and it just gets put back in our quota. I don't see the logic in Happy Crab participating in this. They already have a license. They already have an all forms license. And whatever happens, if this commission says, yeah, you can go ahead and have Happy Crab apply for the private, that doesn't make any sense to me, Attorney Hensler, because we don't have an application by them in front of us. And that just, this to me is, I'll be honest with you, Attorney Hensler and Binoche, this is a lost cause. I mean, something happened along the way, other than the pandemic, which held everybody up for 2 years. Something happened along the way where the development got distracted. So I'm not of the mindset to allow it to continue. Commissioner Allen.
The only other thing I'd add to that is two things. First, when we're looking at approving any sort of transfer, One of the questions is, does it serve the public need? And no, Happy Crab is already serving alcoholic beverages quite successfully. This will not change how they do business. At best, this would be a long-term speculation on the value of a private license, which I am not interested in the Somerville Licensing Commission facilitating.
Can I just add one last thing?
Sure.
I get whatever is everybody's saying, and I appreciate. So that was just an idea. I was not gonna go against any board members. That was just an idea I was putting up for it, but I'm happy to turn over the license. And I want to thank you guys for giving me as much time as possible. So Tyler, I'm happy to return the license to the city.
Good to know.
Okay, commissioners, any other information we would like to ask the license holder, their attorney, or Michael before we move? No other questions. Michael, you good?
Mr. Chair, through you, I would just like to put the request on the record that if this license is being returned to the city, that either the licensee or their attorney send a confirmation in writing so that we can process that return.
So my question to you is, we are not amending this license tonight. We are not suspending this license tonight. We are revoking this license.
Mr. Chair, through you, I believe if it's being returned, it's not being revoked. That would be my understanding. And we have had licensees return their licenses before without additional action. It can be a voluntary choice. It would then return to the city-owned, citywide license pool.
Very good. So Attorney Hensler and Binoche, rather than us revoke this license tonight, it is the will of this commission that you return the license to us with an accompanying document clearly stating that you are returning this license to the city of Somerville for non-use.
Sure, we'll do that.
And
Absolutely.
we would like that within 5 business days.
You will have it tomorrow.
Okay, commissioners, you okay with that? I don't like putting revoke on there because that stays on their record. So they are voluntarily returning the license to the city of Somerville within 5 days for non-use. Okay? Counselor and Binoche, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I wish you well, Binoche. If, once you find a new space, come on back in, apply for a city-owned license.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. Like I said again, I really appreciate you guys being so lenient to me and giving me enough time. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Counselor.
Thank you.
Okay. So item 3, Michael, you're gonna take care of that.
Mr. Chair, through you, yes, we.
Great. Item number 4 is a show cause hearing for Mike's Bar, Inc., DBA Mike's Bar, 97 Washington Street, AL 17049, pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 23 and 64, to show cause as to why their all forms alcoholic beverage 7-day restaurant license, common victualler license, 10 a.m. Sunday opening license, and entertainment by devices and performers licenses should not be modified, suspended, revoked, or forfeited, or the hours during which alcoholic beverages be reduced for alleged violations of the following Somerville Licensing Commission rules and regulations. Commissioners, I am not going to read all of these. I will give you the titles. All right. It is Rule 1.09A, Rule 1.09B, Rule 1.09D, and Rule 1.09E. That is the nature of the hearing tonight. And Michael, I see someone at the podium. So the applicant or their representative is present. Could you state your name for the record?
Yeah, my name is Joe Kilduff. My mother, Michelle Kilduff, is the owner of the property. I'm here representing her. She's not happy, just having some health problems at the moment, so.
Okay, and Joe, are you the manager of record on the license?
No, I'm not.
Okay, Do we have anything from, is it Michelle?
Michelle, yeah.
Do we have anything from,
She is on the Zoom and able to answer questions, but I wanted to be here in person.
great, okay, could we have Michelle Kilduff?
Hi, Michelle, I see you in the lobby. I see your hand raised. You are unmuted on our end.
And Michelle is your mom.
Correct,
Michelle is the owner of record for Mike's Bar, 97 Washington Street.
correct.
Thank you. And is it Mike's or Michael's?
Michael's is the name, I think the legal entity name is Mike's Bar LLC, but the name of the office is Michael's.
Michael's, okay, so we will, gentlemen, we'll use it interchangeably, okay? Okay, so, we have had some complaints about how Michael's Bar is being operated. So I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions and then we can just move into why we're doing. So are you and Michelle Kilduff fully aware why we're having this show cause hearing?
Partially, we received the letter, candidly, and I probably should have looked more into it, but I was just made aware of the list of police calls and police reports maybe 45 minutes ago from the gentleman. Again, I probably should have looked more, but I think we made some calls looking for it. We didn't get the information, it's probably not, but I'm generally aware.
Okay, and Joe, where do you live?
Needham, Massachusetts.
In Needham, so it's Joseph Kilduff, Needham. And Michelle, if I could just ask you to identify yourself for the record tonight.
Michelle, you are unmuted on our end. So you'll just need to click the button that looks like a microphone and that should activate your microphone. I see your hand raised.
Michelle Kilduff.
There we go. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle. Michelle, your address, please.
17 Fairway Drive, Woburn, Mass. 01801.
Thank you very much. And Michelle, you are the owner of record and the manager of record for Mike's Bar?
Yes.
Great. Thank you very much. So we have the two principals here. Commissioners, we have a major complaint. We have multiple documents in front of us. This is a show cause hearing, why we should not, or why we should or should not amend, suspend, or revoke the license. I have my questions, but I'm gonna turn, which one of you want to go first? Anybody?
I defer to Commissioner Allen.
Commissioner Allen?
All right. Let's see here. Let's start with patrons taking alcohol out of the establishment. Are you aware that you do not have a license to take alcohol outside of the interior of the premise?
Yes, I'm assuming that is part of why I'm here, and if that's happening, that's clearly unacceptable.
Has your staff been instructed to this effect?
Yes,
Okay. We've got multiple accounts and multiple video evidence to the effect that patrons are bringing beers into the outside, very visibly holding beer bottles.
okay.
That's part of why you're here today. What do you think you need to do to keep patrons from bringing alcoholic beverages outside that front door?
I think the staff probably needs more training. I think if we could get more headcount or a dedicated, person there to monitor the clientele, maybe it's been tough finding service industry workers, as you guys know. But I think that in my mind is one step that we should probably take. I saw a recommendation there about refusing to serve beer in beer bottles. I noticed in the past, in the younger days, people would, places would make you pour it. I think that's a reasonable thing for us to do.
Another part of it is just, what do you all use that back area for, given that it is not licensed for alcohol?
Part of it's parking, part of it is storage. Years ago, when my grandfather operated it, they did have the ability to use it as a bocce court, but that's long gone. Right now, I think it's gated off. We gated it off about a year ago. So I think there's a couple of dumpsters back there and things like that, but it's clearly not intended to be outdoor dining. If it is being used like that, that's not acceptable.
Okay. So, do you have tables out there? At least right now?
I think there are some out there that were being stored, but they shouldn't be, they shouldn't be accessible to the patrons. My understanding is they're behind the locks.
Okay. At least, okay, and give you some additional things and you can review this as well, but we
Yeah.
also, part of it is like video stuff of people using that back area, taking beers out there, setting them down on the table. It looks like they're opening the gate. You've got a nice little private back patio going on there.
Good for them, that's.
Okay. Yeah. And part of this is gonna be obviously not just like your, staff knowing that the patrons can't take this out, but also, paying attention when people are going out with their beers and coming back in a half hour later for round two.
Yeah, that can happen.
Okay. The next item that we wanted to touch on is just, and this was brought to your attention a little bit earlier, the frequency of police reports.
Yeah.
I guess maybe we've got a list. It's a little bit noisy. Could you maybe talk through like what sort of incidences have resulted in police being called to Michael's?
Yeah, so looking through it, I don't know if it's likely compared to everybody else in town, but if, you guys know this better than I do, I'll take your word for it. I saw a lot of medical, I saw a lot of alarms coming in from our alarm company. I did obviously see that concerning police report about a fight down there, I think back in November of 2004. One of the things the police department for their support, that's clearly, not what we're here to do, and that's not the clientele we're here to serve. If that's happening on a regular basis, but I can go about that course and I control my staff. But again, I'm being caught a little bit flat-footed here like that. Clearly cannot happen. I'm here to work with you guys to make sure it doesn't.
Have you had communications with the abutters about any of these issues?
I have not, in speaking with my mother, there's one neighbor there that they've had communications with, and we try our best to mitigate it.
What actions were taken to mitigate that?
So we blocked access to that back part. More instructions to the staff to say like, hey, like people can't be drinking outside to do that. That's not permitted. But there's clearly additional steps that we can should take to make sure that stops.
Okay. And I will give you some color here. Like looking at this police report list from 2023 through to 2025, you are a significant outlier just in terms of the number of police calls, even filtering for noise on here.
Sure.
Like this is more than I would expect. And it gives me concern that additionally here, I don't know if over serving is prompting some of this as well.
Got it.
I've got one more item here. And again, these are not in the public record as a matter of decency, but I will just provide the detail of what it is. The security cameras of the abutter show a patron leaving your establishment, urinating on their fence, and then returning to the establishment.
Okay. There's nothing I can say like that's clearly unacceptable behavior.
Okay.
I don't know what else to say. That's.
I would probably have some more stuff, but I'm going to open it up to the next person.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas.
Question on Thursday nights. What's the staffing on numbers on Thursdays in terms of employees?
I believe there's one bartender on Thursdays.
No security at all?
I don't know.
Yeah, just looking at these past 4 incidents, it seems like it's, Thursday, Fridays seem to be, the trouble days.
Okay, that was actually gonna be a question for you guys. Is there some kind of repeatable pattern in the dates where I can, isolate it to a specific bartender or a specific staff? You're saying it's Thursdays is common.
No, just based on the last 4 incidents I was looking at, Thursdays would be the most common. No additional questions at this time, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. So Joe, I'm going to read something to you, and Michelle is online. I'm going to read something to you that always catches my eye about whenever we have complaints about any of our licensees, whether it's alcohol or food or cannabis, doesn't matter. Is the premises becoming a focal point for police attention, or is it offensive to public decency? The licensee may be held in violation of the license and subject to proceedings for suspension, revocation, or modification. That's primarily why we're calling you in front of us,
Okay,
because we have evidence that Michael's Bar has become the focus of police attention because of the number of calls, sheer number of calls. Can you tell me what the procedure is if there is a fight inside of Mike's? What is the procedure for that? Does your bartender or somebody just break it up, and tell me what that procedure looks like?
they're instructed to call the police department if there's ever a safety issue.
So are you representing to us that the number of these calls, we have 63 calls within a year period, a year and a half period? Are those all calls coming from your bartender, or are these calls coming from someplace else?
That I don't know.
Okay, let me tell you, you saw the list tonight.
Yes. Yeah,
So we have a bunch of calls for medical aid.
I saw that, yeah.
What do you think that is? Someone's hurt.
Someone's hurt, someone could be sick, someone could, I mean, it's an older clientele down there, there could be a medical issue, like someone could be hurt, like it could be.
I give it to you. It could be a medical emergency
Right.
for somebody. There's a number of medical aid calls being made.
Right,
I'm having a hard time believing that there's a bunch of sick people at Mike's Bar calling for medical aid.
Right.
This is indicating to me that someone in that establishment is over-serving your patrons, and they're getting sick, or they're in the bathroom getting sick, or they're going to a neighbor's driveway getting sick. Something's happening, Joe.
yeah,
I can't tell you that we're happy with seeing this. I mean, something's got to be done in terms of managing that license. We're getting complaints from neighbors. We're getting complaints from the police. We're getting complaints from city councils, right? There's a problem going on down there, and we need something that tells us you're going to take corrective action. So you've seen the documents that we have: noise, medical aid, fights, disputes. I mean, and this is not new. It's not old news to us. We've got two more reports. We got one from 2024. They were called down there because a group of customers of Mike's Bar were drinking, intoxicated, screaming, being disrespectful with the neighbors, littering on the property. That's not acceptable, right up to January 9th, 2025, last month. It's still going on, right? It's still going on. So even with the sheer number of times the police visit that establishment, nothing's being done. Help us to understand why we should not amend the license, suspend the license, or revoke it.
yeah, it's a great question. I think part of it, we're just, that communication doesn't get to us. So this is the first time that I've seen this level of activity coming down there. And this is something where I want to resolve it. I'm working with my staff to resolve it, but like, I want to work with you guys in the police department to resolve it too.
Who's on site most of the time? Is it the bartender who's the manager on duty? Okay, and when there's a fight inside of the bar, do they file a report with you, the owners? Do they let you know that stuff? No. So if I were to walk into Mike's on this coming Friday night and someone takes a pool stick to the back of someone's head, there's no record of that within Mike's Bar?
We instructed to, but clearly there's a miscommunication between the number of times the police are being called down there and what's being relayed to us.
If someone, I'm giving you some examples as to why we're concerned about it, right? If someone overdoses in your parking lot or in your back former bocce court, and that person dies on your property, are you gonna have a report for anybody? I mean, you see how I'm getting exaggerated with this, but call for medical assistance to our bars, that happens all the time, right? Someone gets sick and call me an ambulance, and they get taken to the drunk tank, and then that's the end of it. The sheer number that are coming in from that establishment concerns us.
Understood.
The number of complaints from neighbors concerns us. And it should concern the owners of Mike's Bar, because it will affect your insurance. Anything happens, we get notices from the Attorney General. One of your patrons walks out that door, gets into a car, gets into an accident and kills somebody, and they're found guilty in a court of law. We get notified of that because yours was the last establishment that they had a drink. That could affect your livelihood going forward. I'm going to ask you and Michelle to give us a reason tonight of anything that you have established, over-serving. It's my opinion, Joe. You're over-serving customers. You're allowing them to congregate outside of the premises, either in the bocce court or in the parking lot with beer bottles. We got pictures. We know that it's happening. You're over-serving your customers. We don't know if you're serving under 21. There's no report that's in front of us that you have been stung by the ABCC for any of that. And it's becoming a public nuisance. That's my opinion. It's a public nuisance when we start getting, we have no other, with save one or two, there's no other establishment in this city that has the sheer number of complaints and calls. So I need something, the commissioners need something to say, we got to do something tonight.
Yeah, so I'm open to ideas. I have some ideas of my own, but this clearly needs to be a focus, for myself and for my mother to clamp down on this, because it's not acceptable. We've been in business for close to 70 years. It's a third generation business. Started with my grandfather, who immigrated here from Italy. All three generations of us grew up in Somerville. We love the city. We want to work, we want to be part of Somerville's future. We want to work with you guys. We want to work with the police department. I'm also looking to you guys for some ideas, because I'm candidly fit to do this, but I will say that I'm really committed to work with you guys to right the ship here.
Michelle, you've been silent. Are we missing the mark? Are we over exaggerating here? I mean, help us with this. The Parisi family has owned the property for years. You've been a fixture. People love going to your bar because it doesn't have $14 beers. Help us here. Our goal is not to put you out of business. Our goal is to help you get out of the limelight here.
Okay. Well, I know that whenever there is a fight, or the bartenders think there will be a fight or some tension, we immediately call the police, and we were told to do that rather than try to stop it or whatever. But we always call whenever there is a problem. As far as the drinking outside, we have a gate where those tables were. Originally, we wanted to open that patio up, and we didn't get the license for it. But we put a gate there with a lock, and it's always locked. So I don't understand. I didn't see the pictures of the people back there, but there is a gate, and it's a pretty high gate that we put there. I think it's a 4-foot gate or whatever. I've never heard of anybody being back there. They'd have to climb over, and I haven't heard that.
I think it's time to just change the laws, like get the tables out of there, like remove any temptation, remove any desire or opportunity for them.
Okay, we're gonna let you guys figure out the plan of going forward. Michelle, I will just tell you, the evidence that's been submitted to us, somebody has a key to the lock on the gate, because the gate is wide open and they're standing inside with the gate visible that it's open. So I don't know who's got a key to it, but Joe is saying change the lock and keep the key someplace else.
Yeah, I've never seen the pictures. I've never heard of anybody being back there. I'd love to see that picture.
We can send them to you.
Thank you. Yes, definitely. And we could change the locks, absolutely. The only person that really has a key is the cleaning person because he takes the trash out every Friday morning.
Okay.
And we have a key and that's all. The bartenders don't have a key and nobody else has a key. I don't know. I don't know. I know we did not call the police so many times. It doesn't seem that way. I don't know if the neighbors are calling the police and that is on record.
Well, it doesn't, what matters to us is, are you abiding by the license? And the license says if you become a nuisance in the neighborhood, it doesn't matter to us what neighbors are calling. What matters to us is your ability to manage the license. And if your patrons are acting up either internally to your establishment or out on the public sidewalk or on your private property or on someone else's property, that becomes an issue. That
Yeah.
becomes, are they managing the license properly?
Yeah.
If
I
you-
wasn't aware of this because nobody let us know. The police didn't come in to say that, there was a problem or, we haven't heard anything about any complaints, from
Okay,
neighbors or anything. I didn't get any kind of correspondence. I didn't get anything from the police department saying that, people were complaining. This is
Uh,
really surprising. I
all
mean,
right, let's
why?
go off the complaining part of it. And I posed the question to you that I posed to Joe. When there is an incident or a fight inside of the bar, do you document that at all? If
Well,
you're
we
calling
call
the
the
police?
police. Yes, we call the police
Mhm.
anytime anything like
Okay.
that happens.
No,
we call
I
the police.
understand, Michelle, that you called the police. I'm
Mhm.
asking, do you have an internal reporting system that says patron number one and patron number two got into fisticuffs and a beer bottle was broken over somebody's head and they got transported to Cambridge Hospital?
Anytime there is a fight or anything that's starting a fight, we bar the person so they cannot come in again. We have a
Okay.
list in the bar.
But
with-
if I were to go down there tomorrow and ask to see reports of anybody that you threw out or anybody that you barred from the bar,
Mhm, you'll see
would
it.
you be able to produce those for me?
Yeah, there'll be a list on the mirror behind the bar of the people that are barred.
Okay.
And we don't let them in again if they ever
All right.
cause any problem down there at all.
All right, let's move on a little bit. I don't know if the commissioners want to have any kind of narrative from Lieutenant Mitsakis based on his experience and other folks, other SPD folks who have had to visit Mike's. What do you think, Michael Potier?
Mr. Chair, through you, that would be up to you and Lieutenant.
Do you have enough information without asking Lieutenant Mitsakis or?
I would love to hear from the lieutenant, but I think the process and procedure of calling the police when an incident occurs is faulty at best. In a bar situation, which I've worked in 15 years, when a fight breaks out, you need on-site security to handle these situations. By the time police do arrive, medical aid will be needed. I can assure you that. So I'd love to hear from the lieutenant if he has anything to add, at least for us to know.
All right, Lieutenant Mitsakis, the commissioners might have a couple of questions. Are you available to answer?
Good evening. Yes, I am.
Okay, would you bring your voice up a little bit for us too?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yes. All right, Lieutenant Mitsakis, do you want to start asking questions? Go ahead.
No, you can go right ahead, Mr. Chair. I'm for you.
Lieutenant Mitsakis, on the CAD incident results, when the word unwanted, so I'm under incident type, what does unwanted mean in SPD speak?
That would mean that the bar or somebody, a patron, is calling from the establishment saying there's an unwanted, it could be an employee, it could be a customer, it could be numerous, somebody walking in off the street to use the bathroom. It could be any one of those categories. But it usually comes from the establishment saying to please remove somebody. It's basically asking them not to come back to the business.
That's an internal call. That's coming from an employee.
Internal,
More than
correct.
likely, it's coming from Mike's bar saying, this guy's out of control. I want him out of here.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Noise complaints. I assume those are coming from neighbors.
Noise is usually always from neighbors, correct?
Okay. Medical aid.
Medical aid could be, it's usually from the establishment calling, but you could get somebody that's inside that, a friend calling, say, my friend's extremely intoxicated, or they could be having, you know, a real, like a medical emergency, but it's very rarely you get somebody having, at a bar, like a heart attack or, you know, stroke.
So it could, I'm sorry, Lieutenant Mitzaga. So it could be either or.
Correct.
It could be a patron or it could be somebody from Mike's calling for medical aid.
Correct.
Fight, that's pretty apparent. You get called because of a fight, and more
Fight
than
could be,
likely,
yeah, fight could be from both. Usually, if the establishment can't handle it, they usually try to call 911 quick, but some calls do come in from, other patrons calling 911 saying there's a fight in a bar.
okay, and we understand how this operates. So something like road rage that is attributed to 97 Washington Street, that's only because your patrol cars were responding to that address. It doesn't necessarily mean anybody from Mike's bar was involved in a road rage incident.
Correct. That's usually somebody saying the last location where that road rage is happening, and they'll say, I'm in front of Michael's, or I'm at 97 Washington.
Okay, and then assist, I'm just trying to get a sense of the calls. Assist, what does that mean, Lieutenant Mitzagas?
That's usually the patron, the establishment calling up saying they need help, with a patron, and they're asking police to come by and help out to remove somebody.
Okay. Okay, those are all the questions I have right now, other than, no, that's an unfair question. Commissioner Allen, any questions?
None for the lieutenant.
Commissioner Thomas?
No, that was great. Especially the medical aid part. No further questions on my part.
Okay. All right. I don't want to drag this out, but clearly you got some work to do at Mike's Bar, 97 Washington Street. It's come to my attention. It's come to the commission's attention. It's come to the Somerville Police Department's attention, and no doubt the neighbors are not happy.
Sure.
So, Michael, show cause hearing. It has to be a motion made, motion adopted.
Mr. Chair, I believe will be a motion made
Okay,
by you.
all right. Joe and Michelle, anything else that you want to kind of put before us before we deliberate and then say what we want to say?
Yeah, I mean, just in general, I appreciate the time. We want to work with you guys. We want to change this. If there's, internally, my mom's getting up at age, we're starting to have conversations about what's going to happen here. It's clear that, some of the folks need to play a bit more of an active role in the business. I know there's a process to do that, but this is something that we want to continue, that we want to clean up, that we want their generations to come. We want to be part of New Somerville. We don't want to be known as the place that was described there. We're willing to take whatever steps are necessary. I don't know if this, candidly, I don't know if this was the time for me to come with a formal proposal or if that happens, but there's a number of steps that I would like to take. And I'm willing to work with you guys in the police department with, on whatever needs to be done.
I think the proper management of your license, the roadmap for that is in the rules and regulations that we provide to all our licensees.
Okay.
You're responsible for your patrons' behavior, both internal and when they leave. Right? You're not when they get into their car and they drive up onto 93 and they go to another bar, you're free.
Yeah,
Right? But I'm telling you, alcoholic beverage license is something that you should protect. And we never want to see any of our licensees in front of us. Never. You're entrusted with public care You have a duty of care to the patrons. You have a duty of care to your family. We don't want to see anything happen, so we're going to be forced to take action tonight. You set? Do you have any other questions? Michelle, anything before
Yes.
I make a proposal here?
No, we'll, we'll try our hardest to, rectify this problem.
Okay. Rules and regulations of the Somerville Licensing Commission are published. ABCC rules and regulations are published. I would highly recommend anyone who is serving alcohol or the owners of Mike's Bar become very familiar with those. So what I would like to propose, and I'm going to make the motion, is that the hours of operation for Mike's Bar, 97 Washington Street, be rolled back to 9 p.m. 7 days a week, to be held in abeyance for 6 months, with the condition that if there are any more major incidents at Mike's Bar, we immediately roll back their hours to 9 p.m.
Would the definition of a major incident be exclusively under the purview of the licensing commission? Or could the police department, through Lieutenant Matsakis or anyone, say, this was a major incident, you had this abeyance being held by the Somerville Licensing Commission, and we are activating it?
The licensee is always free to come back to us. But major incident, I'm talking about, there are so many incidents on this report that should the Somerville Police Department come back to this commission and say, over that 6-month period or next month, we had 14 calls for medical assistance. People are overdosing in the parking lot, or people are, I mean, our hands are tied unless we do something like this, because I'm trying to hold leverage over them. Get your act together, straighten it out down there, because if you don't, you're gonna lose revenue.
Understood. I'm happy with that. I just wanted to make sure we define the mechanism.
It's gonna be SPD. I mean, we don't go down and track our licensees. You know, if we get more neighbor complaints, if we get more complaints from SPD, if I get phone calls from the city councilors, I mean, that's proof enough for me to say to Michael, call him back in.
That area in particular is highly residential. I mean, you have new development, pretty much to the left. A lot of residents, and I can relate because I do live next to a restaurant even. There will be calls. I can guarantee you there will be calls, because that's what we do.
There'll be calls,
There will be calls.
but it's up to this commission
Right, I just
to hear the complaint, say what's bogus and what's not.
right, that's why I think major needs to be clearly defined in terms of incident type. You could probably use the last 10 for example. What would you consider to be a major incident?
Well, I don't have enough information on
Right.
medical calls, but I will tell you, there's another one where 2 patrons got into fisticuffs and beer bottles were broken over their heads, and
That's
both patrons, that's major. Both patrons wound up hospitalized. That's a major incident. You have a brawl in front of 97 Washington Street of 55 people. I'm giving examples. They get 3 calls in the month of March for medical assistance. That's not major to me. What I'm trying to get at is manage your license so that we don't see any more of these things.
And similarly, I think it should be very doable to get the taking beer off premise under control. That should be no more photographic evidence.
Are there any security cameras back there in the little patio set?
There are not, but that's something that we can easily.
Yeah, because clearly you have cameras pointing at you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very.
Okay, so I do have a motion on the floor.
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor?
I wanted to discuss the 9 p.m.
Okay, sorry.
That may be a little too early in terms of a major incident, 10 p.m.
I'm amenable.
I'm sticking at 9.
Ooh, comes to me.
The closing hours are 1 a.m.
Mr. Chair, that's correct, 8 AM to 1.
Yeah, 4 hours worth of revenue should do it.
It's pretty much shut in place now. In terms of hours.
If they behave themselves, then they're gonna get shut down.
I agree with the chairman that the goal is that it doesn't come to this.
But I don't wanna see Joe Kilduff back here. I don't want Michelle back on the phone. I want them to manage their own license.
Absolutely.
Make sure your neighbors are happy, make sure everybody's happy, and Lieutenant Matsakis doesn't come back with a list of,
I agree, and I do want to avoid micromanaging the details here. You are the licensee, you have the experience in this industry. We are setting the expectation of the results, and it is your job to hit them by whatever means you see fit.
We run the motion?
I'll rerun the motion.
I will second it.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All three commissioners in the affirmative to roll back the hours to 9 PM, held in abeyance. You got that, Michael?
Mr. Chair.
Okay. What it basically means is keep your nose clean down at Mike's Bar for the next 6 months.
Got it. So it's 9 PM closed for 6 months and then without a major incident.
No, you keep your hours. We're suspending our ruling. That's
Okay.
in abeyance. So
Got it.
you keep your hours, you keep out of trouble. And if you don't, we come down and we post it on the door, 9 PM closing.
Got it. Makes sense.
Okay.
That's more than fair. What feedback mechanisms are there? Is there a direct line of communication that you guys want with me or again, we want to get ahead of this, we want to manage it. We want to work with you guys, so maybe we can talk offline about if there's any communication.
I will make the public recommendation to you is that between you and Mom, come up with a plan.
Right.
Talk to that bartender and say, we just got a dressing down by the licensing commission.
Got it.
You guys gotta be careful of over serving. You gotta tell all of our patrons, don't be out in that back lot and stay out of other people's property.
Got it. Clear.
If you don't
Sorry.
have this internal communication and your person tells you nothing happened over the weekend, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Similarly, you've made a couple of good suggestions here in terms of infrastructure, avoiding an attractive nuisance. Roll with that, but yeah, like most of all, like just you need a better understanding of what's going on.
Yeah, that's clear. Thank you.
Anything else? Anything else? Michelle Kilduff, thank you very much. Joe Kilduff, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda. Michael, we have somebody in the audience.
Mr. Chair, through that would have been my next point. We do have a representative here in person for item number 10 for Momo and Curry. And that would be a new wine and malt license in Sunday.
It's new, it is a public hearing.
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Why don't we take it? Let me read your application here. It's for a new wine and malt license, Sunday hours license. Kaya LLC, DBA Momo and Curry, 431 Somerville Ave, requesting approval of a wine and malt license and Sunday hours license. Hours of operation to serve food and alcohol indoors, Monday through Sunday, 11 AM to 11 PM. Proposed number of seats are 19. This is a public hearing. If you could just identify yourself for the record, please.
Good evening, sir. My name is Lokesh Adhikari. I'm the owner of the mobile company located at 431 Somerville Avenue.
Very good. How long has it been open? 2015, and you're coming in for wine and beer,
License.
and you want to do Sunday hours. Great, okay. Commissioner Thomas.
No questions at this time.
Commissioner Allen.
Are you tip certified?
Yes,
Perfect. Excellent. No further questions.
How long have you been in the restaurant business?
almost like 25 years.
25 years. How can that be? You look 19. Have you ever held a alcoholic beverage license before? Have you ever been the manager of license?
Yes.
And what years were those?
17 in Maynard, Mass.
In Maynard, Mass. Were you ever cited for any violations while you were the manager? None. Great, thank you very much. We have the menu, everything's all set?
Mr. Chair, through you, yes, just wanted to bring your attention, we do have a hand raised from Captain Richardson at your convenience.
Okay. All right, any other questions of the applicant?
Nope.
Okay. Captain Richardson on Kaya LLC, DBA Momo and Curry.
I just wanted to remind him that there's a note saying they should have numbers in front of the building. There were no numbers when I went by. Nothing that marked the address.
The applicant is representing that he's already done that, Captain Richardson.
Wonderful. Thank you. That's all I have.
Great. Thank you very much. There's no other comments this is a public hearing. Michael.
This is a public hearing. If there are any members of the public who wish to be heard on this item, please raise your hand in the Zoom lobby. Mr. Chair, seeing none.
Seeing none, close that part of the public hearing, and Commissioner Allen would like to.
Make a motion to approve?
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All three commissioners in the affirmative. Congratulations. Best wishes. Next item, Michael, is item number
5, Mr. Chair.
Item number 5 is a show cause hearing for Galwagon Inc., DBA The Burren, 247 Elm Street, AL 17037. Pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 23 and 64, to show cause as to why their all forms alcoholic beverages 7-day restaurant license, 2 a.m. closing license, common victualler license, outdoor public seating license, 10 a.m. Sunday opening license, and entertainment by devices, patrons, and performers should not be modified, suspended, revoked, or forfeited, or the hours during which alcoholic beverages be reduced for alleged violations of the following Somerville Licensing Commission rules and regulations. Violation of Rule 1.09A, violation of Rule 1.09C. Is the, sorry, what is it?
E, 1.09E.
E. Is the applicant or their representative present? Michael Potea.
Mr. Chair, through you, we received a written request to continue this hearing for 1 month to March. I confirmed the continuance with you and received confirmation in writing from the applicant that the continuance to March is acceptable to them.
Very good. What is the law firm that's representing the Burren?
Mr. Chair, through you, the council's name is McQuilty, and the name of the firm right now off the top of my head.
Quilty, Dennis Quilty.
Dennis Quilty, apologies, Mr.
Right.
Chair.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions about not giving them a continuance? What was the reason that Attorney Quilty wanted to continue?
Mr. Chair, through you, both a conflict with not only the applicant and the licensee themselves, but also the attorney for this month.
Scheduling conflict.
Correct, Mr. Chair. The licensee themselves is out of the country until March.
Part of the concern here is this is an active public safety issue.
Right.
I'm not in the habit of continuing those.
Unfortunately, in the show cause hearing, I do believe we have to, before we take action, we have to give the licensee the public hearing. This is, in my mind, if it was an emergency situation, we could do and act without having our decision appealed at the ABCC level.
That was major.
We
It is a
did,
major incident.
we did at the turn of the year, make a requirement for them to ask for police details at peak hours.
Based on other incidents.
Based on other
This
incidents.
hearing is based on a very specific incident.
Yes. I would agree. It is part of a trend. If they would like to continue this to next month's, I would be fine with asking them to do the same thing we did over the turn of the year. Namely, that for those same peak hours, they would be requested to reach out to the Somerville Police Department and check on the availability of the detail and secure one if available. That would be my thought. If all we are doing is continuing,
Have there been any incidents since our last meeting?
That's the show cause that we're having tonight.
No, in terms of like, just the past 4 weeks.
I am not aware, and we could ask Lieutenant Matsakis, but I would be very careful, commissioners, not to step over the line in terms of adjudicating tonight without giving the licensee the opportunity to speak.
Wasn't tonight the opportunity?
And they're asking for a
Oh.
continuance.
if the chair would just like to move for the continuance, that is his prerogative.
I'd like to move for the continuance of item number 5 to the March hearing.
Second.
All those in favor?
Nay.
Motion carries. 2 commissioners in the affirmative. Next item is item number 6. It is a request for a new common victualler license. Compass Group USA, DBA Capital One Cafe, 425 Revolution Drive, requesting approval of a common victualler license. The hours of operation, 6:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Who gets up at 6:30? 6:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sunday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Proposed number of indoor seats are 60. Is the applicant present?
Mr. Chair, through you, I do not see the name of the person I've been communicating with. If you're here on behalf of Capital One Cafe and you're here in the Zoom lobby, could you please raise your hand? Mr. Chair, through you, I am not seeing any raised hands.
Let's put it at the end of the agenda and go to item number 7.
Sounds good, Mr. Chair.
Viet Citron at Bow Market LLC, DBA Viet Citron, 1 Bow Market Way, requesting approval of a common victualler license. Proposed hours of operation closed on Monday, Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Proposed number of indoor seats are 10. Is the applicant present?
If you, I see a hand raised, Mr. Chair. You are unmuted on our end.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Hi, there's 2 of us on the line. So my name's Howard Lee and my wife, Nok Tran, are on the line. We're the owners of Viet Citron. And thank you for everyone's time tonight. As said, we're seeking approval of a common victualler license. This is our first expansion of Viet Citron. If you're familiar with our brand, our first restaurant was actually in Burlington, which we started in 2020, and we're looking to expand to the Somerville area in the Bow Market Plaza.
Beautifully done. Thank you very much. Commissioner Allen, questions of the applicant?
Absolutely. First off, welcome to Somerville.
Thank you.
Which cubby are you taking at Bow Market?
The corner, so as you're entering Bow Market, on the left, there's that staircase that goes up. Right underneath that staircase is a double space.
Oh, yeah.
Number 17.
Yep, number 17.
Cool, excellent. No further questions for the applicant.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Thomas.
No questions, Mr. Chair.
Very good. In Burlington, do we have any disciplinary actions in front of the town of Burlington licensing or in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts?
No, we got the perfect score up there. You can check our record.
Love to hear it. Have you ever held an alcoholic beverage license in another state?
We do not have one.
Chair, this is just a CV.
A CV only, sorry. CV only. Okay, I have no other questions.
Like to make a motion to approve?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations on your second location.
Thank you.
We're
Looking
looking
forward to
forward
it.
to it.
Thank you. Item number 9. Kush by Saha LLC DBA Kush Modem Mediterranean. 5 Sanborn Court, requesting approval of a wine and malt with cordials and liqueurs license and entertainment by devices indoors. Hours of operation for food and alcohol, Sunday through Monday closed, Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9, Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10. Proposed number of indoor seats are 16. This is a public hearing. Is the applicant present?
Mr. Chair, I do see the applicant. You are unmuted on our end.
Hello? Can you hear?
Hello, we can hear you.
Hi.
If you could identify yourself for the record, thanks.
My name is Saba Wahid Duffy. I am the owner of Kush by Saba. I apologize. I'm a little under the weather, so my voice is a little hoarse.
We will try to save your voice.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit more about your new venture.
Absolutely. I operated for 2 years as a food truck in the Boston area. We operated out of Commonwealth Kitchen in Dorchester, and we decided to expand to a brick and mortar and found the location in Sanborn Court, which was perfect for our existing catering operation. We no longer operate the truck. We actually did sell it recently and are just focusing our efforts on launching this brick and mortar. It'll be our first restaurant.
Great. 5 Sanborn Court, is that the site of the old Field and Vine, or?
It's a neighbor. It's our neighbor. So there was a takeout place before us called Wade Barbecue.
Oh, now I've got it. Thank you. Yep. Okay. How many square feet is that?
So total with the kitchen, it's 1,700 square feet. And then the restaurant space in the front is 574 square feet.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. 16 seats. Okay. 4 tables or, yeah. Okay. I don't have any other questions. Commissioner Allen?
Yeah, this will be your first time having a liquor license?
Yes, that is correct.
All right. Have you been the manager of record for any establishments that have had one?
Yes, in the very early years of my career, I have worked front of the house as a manager. I definitely worked as a bartender. I started my career in New York. So yes, I've seen both sides of the restaurant world.
Good stuff. During that time where you were the manager of record, any issues with wherever you were the local licensing authority?
No issues.
Excellent. Thank you. No further questions.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Thomas.
Hi, tell us a little bit more about the entertainment by devices, which you intend on having.
Oh, I mean, we would just be streaming music. It's a small space, so we wouldn't really have any room for anything more than that.
Excellent. Thank you. No further questions, Mr. Chair.
I have no other questions. If you're all set, this is a public hearing. We're going to ask if anybody is out there.
This is a public hearing. If there are any members of the public who wish to be heard on this item, please raise your hand in the Zoom lobby. We will allow you to speak. Mr. Chair, seeing no hands raised.
Seeing none, close that part of the public hearing, and Commissioner Thomas would like to
make a motion to approve.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All 3 commissioners in the affirmative. Congratulations. Down to Sanborn Court you go.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much. Item number 10.
Mr. Chairman, item number 11.
Sorry, my apologies. Item number 11. 11 Union LLC, DBA Taco Riot, 11 Union Square, requesting approval of a wine and malt, Sunday hours license, entertainment by devices license, proposed hours of operation for indoor food and alcohol. Monday, closed. Tuesday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Indoor seats, 26. This is a public hearing. Is the applicant present?
Chair, I do see a hand raised. You are unmuted from our end.
Good evening, Elizabeth Pisano from Upton, Connell, and Devlin on behalf of the applicant 11 Union LLC DBA Taco Riot. With me tonight is the proposed manager of record and the sole owner, Michael Robles. He should be on here. I can't see everybody else on here, but Michael Robles should be here with me tonight. Taco Riot is, we are seeking a Section 12 wine and malt beverages license at 11 Union Square. The concept of the restaurant is going to be a global fusion taco spot that will take inspiration from different cuisines around the world and reimagines them into taco form. So what they're going to do is basically have different tacos on their menu inspired by flavors of other nationalities, ingredients, and cooking techniques. So instead of just, your traditional Mexican taco, the menu is going to have things like a Japanese taco, which will be, teriyaki chicken, a Brazilian taco with the picana, a Portuguese codfish taco, things like that. And they will also include vegetarian and vegan options. The proposed owner and manager of record, Michael, he actually lives in Union Square, so he is a resident of Somerville. He has 15 years of experience in the food and beverage industry, including a management position here in Somerville at Machu Picchu. He was a manager and oversaw daily operations, staff management, and customer service. He is also very involved in the Somerville community as he is the small business liaison for the Union Square Main Streets. He's currently working on getting his tips and ServSafe certification. He is a U.S. citizen, a Massachusetts resident, and is familiar with the rules and regulations relating to the sale of alcohol. One other really cool thing about this project is that he is going to create a chef culinary program that is a community-based workforce development initiative. So what it's going to do is basically mentor and train nearby citizens and residents and help support high school students and any other young adults that may be looking for experience in the industry. A couple basic things about the application. The floor plan, it's one floor restaurant space, 1,450 square feet, seating capacity of 21. As you mentioned, they will be open every day from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., except for Mondays, they will be closed. And they are anticipating an opening at the end of April of 2025. So I did elaborate on the character and fitness of the applicant, and just to touch on some public need here. The Union Square is an evolving neighborhood with a growing demand for high quality dining experiences. And for Michael to have a liquor license here, it would allow the restaurant to provide a well-rounded menu and be able to offer beer and wine to enhance the dining experience for his patrons. Beer and wine is often something someone always is looking for when they're going out to dinner. So being able to have that on the menu is crucial for him. And also with Somerville's continued growth, there is a lot of foot traffic and demand for in-dining options with beer and wine on the menu. And it will also help to create and contribute to the local economy by creating jobs. And it'll also help him just remain competitive with nearby restaurants to make sure that he can be here long term. So I am happy to answer any other questions or concerns that you may have.
Attorney Pisano, thank you very much. Thorough as always. One question. We're carrying on our agenda tonight, number of seats 26. And I think you said 21.
Michael, can you confirm, is it 21 or 26 seats? I might have misspoke.
The chair, through you, we have on their application 26 seats.
Elizabeth,
Okay.
Yeah, the application is 26.
Oh, sorry. Take that back.
Okay.
1450 square feet with seating capacity of 26.
Great. No other questions, Commissioner Thomas?
Mr. Chair, as a direct abutter, I will recuse myself.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Thomas is recusing himself. Commissioner Allen?
Are we missing a common victualler on this? Because I see wine and malt license, Sunday hours,
Mr.
entertainment by
Chair.
devices.
Mr. Commissioner, through you, yes, that is a typo, but yes, they did apply for common vic.
Perfect, thank you. I don't want to miss out on the tacos.
You know.
That's the
I
main
knew that,
part.
And I was leaving it to you to come up to.
I like it. You want to make sure I'm not.
I want to
I'm
make
not
sure you're
sleeping.
paying attention here, because
Yeah.
I knew he was gonna recuse himself.
Keeping
The
you
other
on your
thing
toes.
I was going to point out, Michael was manager of record at Machu Picchu, correct?
I don't believe he was a manager of record.
Okay,
Yeah.
they just worked there. Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
he
I was gonna
just
say,
worked
he was
there.
manager of record, but he didn't have his like tips and safe certifications.
Yeah.
That was gonna be another finger wag, but you got a pass.
No, he was not the manager of record on the license. He was just a
Okay.
general manager.
Cool, excellent. No, that's excellent. Overall, excited to see him step up to this. It's been nice seeing him as part of Somerville, Union Square Main Streets,
Yes.
and continuing in that capacity. Which storefront is this?
It is the so on Google Maps, I honestly don't frequent
The old check cashing place.
It's next to Midnight Variety.
Thank you.
yes. I think Google Maps needs to update there.
That is a big, thank you, perfect. That was
but
just for
yes.
my edification, no further questions.
Great. Michael, Commissioner Lynch. I hope you're staying with Union Square Main Streets.
Michael, you're unmuted on our end. Apologies.
No worries. Yeah, I raised my hand. Yes, it's the old Western Union location. To address that, I was manager at Machu Picchu, not on record, but I did have my serve safe and my tips, but I think they've expired since that was a couple years ago. And I'm definitely gonna stay here in Union Square and support Union Square Main Streets as best I can.
Michael, I'm not gonna say it yet, but, are we all set?
There you go.
Okay, Attorney Michael, thank you. Michael Patia. Any members of the public wish to be heard on the application?
This is a public hearing. If there are any members of the public who wish to be heard, please raise your hand in the Zoom lobby. Mr. Chair, through you, I'm seeing no hands raised.
Seeing none, close that part of the public hearing. Commissioner Commissioner Allen would like to.
Make a motion to approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 2 commissioners in the affirmative, 1 commissioner recusing himself. Congratulations, Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you very
for your
much.
time.
Attorney Paisano, thank you again.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thanks, you too. Let me see, item number 12. This was a item that was continued from the January hearing. Bow Street Charm Core DBA Fuki Japanese Cuisine, 16 Bow Street, requesting approval of a change of manager. Is the applicant present tonight?
Mr. Chair, through you, I do see the applicant's hand raised.
Hello, how are you, everyone?
We can hear you. Wonderful.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. If you could
How are you?
identify yourself for the record.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm Chen Zan. I'm 16 Bow Street, Fuki Japanese Cuisine owner. So my wife just doing for a lot of business, so I changed the holder to myself. So thank you.
Very good. Chinlong, how long have you owned Fuki
Yeah,
Japanese?
this one, yeah, for 4 years already. This is
4
my
years.
third restaurant.
Great. Thank you very much. Any other questions? Commissioner Thomas, Commissioner Allen?
No questions.
No question.
No questions. Make a motion to approve. Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Zhang, thank you very much. You're all set.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Item number 13. AMF Bowling Centers, DBA A Lucky Strike Somerville, 325 Revolution Drive, requesting approval of a change of manager. Is the applicant present?
Mr. Chair, through you, I do see the applicant. You are muted on our end.
Hi, yes, my name is Jay Goodlow. I am the tax and licensing supervisor for AMF Bowling Centers. And I'm here to represent the company and the manager change to Steve Santora.
Thank you very much, Jay. Is Ivy Rose Hudson no longer with Lucky Strike?
That's correct. She is no longer with the company.
Thank you very much. Has Mr. Santoro ever been the manager of record for an alcoholic beverage license before?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I don't know if his prior employment, he held a liquor license. But I will tell you that we operate over 350 locations, and we have a lot of great policies and procedures in place to make sure that he is prepared to handle this responsibility.
Okay, so Jay, we're gonna ask if he's tip certified. We're gonna ask all kinds of questions. I would just say, make sure he's got all of his certifications that he needs to properly manage the license.
Yes, absolutely. And that's our company policy. So all of our employees are tips trained and ServSafe certified.
Great. Thank you very much, Commissioner Allen.
How long has he been with AMF Bowling Centers?
He's only been with us since, I believe, December of 2024.
Okay.
I don't know his whole background. He was with Blaze Pizza, so I know he does have some experience in the food and beverage industry.
Simultaneously, Blaze Pizza does not offer. Blaze Pizza offer. Anyways, without getting into the minutiae here, I do generally expect a little bit more of a resume available for us to review.
Okay. Yeah, and I think certainly we can make that available if that's something you're interested in.
No further questions.
Yeah, I can follow up with him and see if he can provide additional background.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Thomas.
No questions, Mr. Chair.
No other questions for me. Jay, you all set?
Yes.
Okay, make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Jay.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
All right. Item number 14. My eyes are going. LLH LLC DBA Trader Joe's, 145 Middlesex Ave, requesting approval of a change of manager. Is the applicant present?
You are the applicant here. Go ahead and raise your hand. Mr. Chair, through, I think I see the applicant, but yeah, there we go. You are unmuted on our end for Trader Joe's. Hello?
Hello. Hello.
Hi, yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
Hi.
Justine, if you could just identify yourself for the record, please.
Yes, I'm Justine Rogers. I'm currently captain, the manager at the Trader Joe's in Assembly Row at 145 Middlesex Avenue.
Very good. Has Ken left the company or transferred to another store?
No, he's transferred to another store, but the store he's transferred to doesn't carry alcohol.
Very good. And Justine, are you tip certified?
Yes, I am. I've been tip certified since August of 2023.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Thomas.
No questions, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Allen.
No questions.
No other questions from me. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All three commissioners in the affirmative. Justine, congratulations. See you down there someday.
Thank you. Fantastic. I hope to see you down there.
Thanks very much.
All right.
The next two are for special alcohol licenses. Item number 15, Warehouse 11 Sanborn Court, requesting approval of a special alcohol license for Loftus Casey Wedding to be held indoors at 11 Sanborn Court on 4/13/25 from 3:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Is the applicant or their representative present?
Mr. Chair, through you, I do see the applicant. You are unmuted from our end.
Yes, hello.
Well, we can hear you. Could you speak up just a little bit for us, please?
Yes, this is Daniel Loftus.
Daniel, it's Commissioner Lynch. Very good. Tell us a little bit about your big day down there at Warehouse 11.
Yes, so we are getting married at Warehouse 11 in Sanborn Court in Union Square on April 13th. And we would like to serve beer and wine during the reception.
Okay, and how many guests are you having, Daniel?
Should be about 90.
Okay, and where are you procuring the alcohol from?
We are procuring the alcohol ourselves, probably from Costco.
Okay, if you could be in touch with Michael Portier, who is the city clerk of operations here. There is a list of pre-approved distributors that you must buy your alcohol from. Okay?
Thank you.
Yep. Questions, Commissioner Allen?
That was mine, so I've got nothing else. Oh, wait, actually, who are you having serve your alcohol? Sorry, my bad. Who are you having serve your alcohol?
Warehouse 11 has a bartender that they are providing that we are using.
Perfect, thank you. Now no further questions.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Thomas.
Yeah, I just want to
What
wish you
tracks
guys
did
the
you
best
like?
on your nuptials. No questions, Mr. Chair.
No other questions from the commissioners. Commissioner Thomas would like to.
Make a motion to approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations. Have a beautiful wedding. Union Square will be welcoming in April.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I did that purposely, you know. I'm leaving some of the questions out because I saw what you were eating earlier.
Let the record show that it was just high chew.
Item number 16, Boston Bouldering Project, 12A Tyler Street, requesting approval of a special alcohol license for Real Rock 19 film screening to be held indoors at 12A Tyler Street on 3/14/25 from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Commissioner Allen, could you please take this over? I'm recusing myself from voting on this one.
Understood. Excellent. Is the applicant present?
Mr. Commissioner, through you, I do see a hand raised. You are unmuted on our end.
Hi, this is CC Herman, Operations Manager of Boston Bouldering Project.
Excellent. Thank you for joining us this evening. Could you tell us a little bit about the event that you have planned?
Yeah, so we'll be having a Real Rock film screening. It's 3 small films of climbing all across the world. Yeah.
Excellent. Having alcohol provided and served by your friendly brewery next door?
Yes, Aeronaut, that's correct.
Excellent. Nobody's having a beer and then climbing?
Yes, we will not allow climbing during the event.
Excellent. Thank you. Commissioner Thomas, any questions?
Yeah, and how will we be managing age restrictions for alcohol?
Yes, Aeronaut will be managing serving, purchasing, and everything else at their vendor table.
Will 21 plus be identified with a bracelet or some sort of stamp?
Yes, they usually have, or they'll be doing a ink stamp on the hand.
Oh, perfect. No further questions, Commissioner Allen.
Great. Anything else that you'd like to add before we deliberate?
No, I think that's all.
Excellent. With that, do I have a motion to approve?
I would second that.
All right, excellent. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Excellent. Good luck with the film screening.
Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Thank you. I'm gonna just keep on trucking until you tell me not to. Last item is just administrative correction for GTCFF LLC DBA Tall Order 70 Beacon Street to amend the approved indoor seat count from 74 to 84, reflecting the accepted floor plan. Michael's just to bring their actual application into line with what was in the agenda.
Mr. Commissioner, that is correct. And through you, if we could call a vote on this item as well.
Absolutely.
I have some questions on this.
Mr. Chair, thank you. I would look forward to them.
Ask him how that happened. Go ahead.
All right, I'm going to make a motion to approve this administrative correction to update the.
But I have more questions about how this happened.
I just need a second. I just need a second. We can shut this guy up.
Oh, second. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion.
Michael, a little levity goes a long way at the end of the night.
Mr. Chair, through you, just to draw your attention, we do have one last
We do.
Oh,
resolved item. That would be item number 6.
Item number 6 was a new common victular application from Compass Group USA, Inc., DBA Capital One Cafe, 425 Revolution Drive. Approval of a common victular. Is the applicant present?
If you are the applicant here on this item, if you could please raise your hand in the Zoom lobby. Mr. Chair, through you, seeing none, I was in touch with this applicant in advance, so I cannot explain their absence, but I will reach out to them again.
Fine, let's continue it to the March meeting,
Thank
and
you,
if you
Mr.
could
Chair.
just follow up with them.
Will do.
Okay, if there are no other items
None that I can
on
see.
our agenda tonight, gentlemen, thank you very much. Lieutenant Mitsakis, Captain Richardson, Nikki Aurora, and Michael both here. The number counter, the seat counter.
Yep.
Inside joke. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.